and Peter Drucker, I said, Peter, you've written more on leadership and the human beings and motivation than anybody. Could you put in a nutshell, what is the great task of leadership? And he said, David, that's easy. The task of leadership is to create an alignment of strengths in ways that make a system's weaknesses irrelevant. The task of leadership is to create an alignment of strengths in ways that make a system's weaknesses irrelevant. And I thought about that in relationship to our theory of leadership and change that we've been working on over the years called appreciative inquiry. And I've come to the conclusion that leadership and human resources is all about strengths, which raises questions. Why would strength connected to strength propel good change? Why would hope connected to others' hope propel change? Why would inspiration connected to others' inspiration propel change? And interestingly, while all of us in this room would probably agree that the most important things we can do is create an alignment of strengths and lift up our strengths and see the true, the good, the better in each employee, and create conditions that elevate and put those strengths to work every day. But we know from research that that just doesn't happen. You know, the Gallup poll company has surveyed over 1 million employees in companies around the world. In the most recent poll, they had a question: to what extent does your organization and your manager see your strengths and put your strengths to work every day? And in response to that question, 80% of the people said no in our organizations. In other words, people have so many strengths that we don't notice. So I'm going to talk today about 3 levels of what I would call the strengths revolution in human resources management. And the first is the elevation of strengths. What are the new tools and approaches and methodologies for seeing all the capacities and strengths and lifting those up? The second part of the human resources revolution in this area is the magnification and alignment and connection of strengths, like Peter Drucker talked about, to create that alignment that's so strong that the system's weaknesses are irrelevant. So the magnification of strengths, and part of what I think we're finding is that the magnification of those strengths need to happen through very powerful methods of large group planning, where we bring the whole system into the room. Rodrigo shared a very courageous step that he took at Nutrimental Foods in 1995, where he invited 1,000 employees and 500 external stakeholders to come and create the strategic plan for the company. Well, that sounds impossible, doesn't it? But I want to show how easy it is, and we call that the Appreciative Inquiry Summit. It's a way of magnifying the energy of the strengths of the system and finding ways to tap into everybody's intelligence and the wisdom of the whole. The third step in this strengths revolution is the elevation of strengths, the connection and magnification of strengths, and then the extension of our highest human strengths out into society. We might call it social responsibility, but I think that's the wrong word. We might call it sustainability, that may be part of it. But it's really the creation of positive institutions. And I define it as positive institutions are institutions that elevate, magnify, and refract, extend our highest human strengths out into society.